Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. This is a follow-up to my previous Konami Anniversary Collection video. And this is going to be primarily, or perhaps even only, on the Castlevania Anniversary Collection. The Arcade Classics Collection is already out, and Castlevania Anniversary Collection has a release date of May 16th. And not only do we have a release date, but they have released the full list of games. In my last video on this topic, I speculated and decided to put together what I thought the list would be. Two of them I was right about. Two of them, and the other two, not so much. Now, one of them I had mentioned, but I figured they were going to scrap because it wasn't very good, but they decided to put it on there anyway, because reasons. And they scrapped the one that I actually would have preferred. But other than that, looking to be a pretty good collection. Let's go over the final list of games. Okay, so the full list is as follows. Castlevania, Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest, Castlevania 3 Dracula's Curse, Super Castlevania 4, Castlevania the Adventure, Castlevania 2 Belmont's Revenge, Castlevania Bloodlines, and Kid Dracula. That is an interesting list, to say the least. Now, of course, you've got the essential NES games, you've got the NES trilogy, which I was expecting, and you've got Castlevania Bloodlines, which up to this point hasn't gotten too many other releases. Of course, Castlevania Bloodlines is going to be on the Sega Genesis Mini as well, so you've got Castlevania Bloodlines on here, and you've got Castlevania Bloodlines on the Sega Genesis Mini. So it seems now, finally, there's going to be multiple ways to play that game. Not one, not two, but 3 different ways you can play it. Besides playing it on an emulator. But that's besides the point. Kid Dracula is probably the one I was least expecting. That came out of left fucking field for me. I was not expecting that one at all. Not even slightly. And yeah, I don't know, to my knowledge, at this point, like up until now, Kid Dracula hasn't even been released outside Japan, which some of the others have, like, Castlevania Chronicles was a remake / port of a Castlevania game from Japan, and Castlevania the Dracula X Chronicles was a remake / port of a game outside of Japan. But this one's just going to be a straight up fucking port, which, hey, cool. I've actually played a ROM of Kid Dracula, just to see how it was, and, there wasn't really many other ways to play it outside of Japan, so that was really your only option, unless they, released it on Virtual Console or something, and I didn't know, but pretty sure they didn't. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see that outside of Japan, finally. But yeah, I played it, it's very interesting. For those of you who have not played it, it's nothing like Castlevania at all. It's nothing like you've seen at all. It's colorful. It's extremely upbeat. The music is in major key. It's just a feel-good game, and it plays more like Mega Man than anything else. It's just a very bizarre game. It's fun, but it's bizarre. And if you like Castlevania for its dark and gothic atmosphere, and only its dark and gothic atmosphere, this is not going to be the game for you. But if you play games to have fun, like most people do, Kid Dracula's a fun game. You just gotta go into it with an open mind, because when I picked it up, oh my, when I started playing that ROM, I was rather caught off guard, to say the least. But yeah, it's a very interesting inclusion, and it's nice to see it outside of Japan finally. What's funny is I think the sequel or whatever on the Game Boy was actually released outside of Japan. I don't know if it was like called Kid Dracula 2 or what, but it was a follow-up. It was on Game Boy, I think. And maybe I'm wrong, but that one might have been released outside of Japan. But the first Kid Dracula on NES never was. Anyway, with that out of the way, so yeah, I originally thought Castlevania Legends was going to be on this collection. Like I had previously stated that the games were probably going to be Simon's Quest, which I was right about, Bloodlines, which I was right about, Legends, which I was wrong about, and Dracula X, which I was wrong about. However, I did state Adventure as a possibility. I just, was hopeful that it wasn't going to be on there because I don't like that game at all, but hey. I don't have to play it. I don't have to. I don't have to play every game that's on there, only the ones that I like, which are like, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, it's like 7 out of 8 games I actually like. Oh, Simon's Quest is a bit iffy, but that's not a bad game either. I can tolerate that one. The Adventure, I don't even tolerate. I despise that game with every fiber of my being, but it is what it is. And, I thought about it later, and I'm like, maybe Legends isn't going to be on this collection because it was pretty much written out of canon thanks to Lament of Innocence. And I don't know why it was. Like, basically, Legends was canon when it first came out. It was canonically, it was the first Castlevania game. But then Lament of Innocence came along, and canonically, that was the first Castlevania game, and they just ignored Legends. Forgot Legends even existed. I don't know. Maybe they didn't want a female to be the first Belmont. I don't know. But Legends had a female Belmont. She was apparently the first Belmont. Started the legacy, but then Lament of Innocence came along and replaced her with Leon Belmont. It is what it is. Yeah, I'm a major Castlevania nerd. I know a lot about the series. Like, I've done my research. Could probably tell you about nearly the entire Belmont lineage. I'm that much of a nerd. might have to read up on a couple of things, but yeah, I could probably tell you everything you need to know. Anywho, yeah, I don't have too much more to say about this topic. I just want to let everybody know, like anybody who actually watched the other video, wanted to let them know that I wasn't completely right. I was half right about the games that were going to be in this collection. And again, wasn't expecting Kid Dracula at all, but I'm not mad about that one, because that's definitely an interesting game and a fun one. Again, just got to go into it with an open mind. And I'm definitely I'm probably gonna pick this up when it comes out. I have a PS4 and a Switch now, but I'll probably pick it up on PS4, because if I pick it up on PS4, my friend will be able to play it too, which he'd probably like. Probably not gonna buy it twice though. So I don't usually get. I don't really plan to get third-party games on Switch anyway. The PS4 is pretty much my designated third-party console. Ugh, anyway, yeah, that's enough of this video. I'm gonna go now before things get any more awkward.